Vermilion-Lloydminster MLA Dr. Richard Starke announced today that he will not be joining the new United Conservative Party. Starke took to Facebook to make the announcement earlier today, saying he cannot in good conscience sit as a member of that party, not knowing whether the leadership and policies will align with those he represents as a Tory.
I ran on those progressive conservative values both in 2012 and 2015 and was elected. And so to me, continuing with those values and principles in my representation is extremely important.
In his statement, he adds that he has informed the Speaker and the Legislative Assembly Office of his intentions and that he will continue to do the job he was elected for.
My first and most important job is representing the people of Vermilion-Lloydminster. I'm honored to do that, and I will endeavor to continue to do that with integrity and demonstrating principle in my representation.
Starke will stay on as a progressive conservative. He says the Alberta PCs will continue to exist as an official party in the legislature unless the number of members falls below 4. Welcome back. The Lloydminster Men's Shelter provides a short-term solution to the city's homeless, but they've been battling their own issues. Michael Stonhouse spoke at today's Rotary meeting discussing the issues that the homeless and the shelter have to deal with.
I'm chair of the board. The biggest issue is mental health and addictions. A number of our fellows just don't have the life skills or work skills or have these issues like mental health or addictions that make it basically unemployable, so that's a big problem.
The funding for the shelter has been a point of contention, being in a border city under 2 different governments, but that hasn't stopped the board from moving forward.
And then to work together with others to provide the gaps that exist in terms of housing.
The shelter is currently at half capacity with 14 beds occupied. The city's homeless count is at 165. Well, traffic safety has always been a concern for police in Lloydminster, and over the years they've come up with innovative ways to tackle the issue. In this week's edition of Retrospect, we see firsthand how the RCMP now have some backup on Lloydminster streets.
The next time you hear a siren in the border city, you might come face to face with Constable Cheryl Jones. She's the new full-time traffic officer for Lloydminster. Starting on Monday, she'll spend 40 hours a week, day and night, cracking down on drivers who break the law. Running lights and stop signs, denoisy mufflers, impaired drivers, and speeding. This will all be her domain.
I'm looking forward to the position. It's a break off a city which has been very busy for the last while.
Lloydminster continues to grow, and the city has a new way to keep people safe. Because peace officers can now pull over moving vehicles.
Good day, sir.
Hello, officer.
I'm Officer Pretty with Lloydminster Public Safety. The reason I stopped you today is you failed to stop at the stop sign back there.
Officer Pretty is one of 3 peace officers with new certification to respond to speeding, stunting, and other traffic violations.
This will provide an opportunity for a faster response to public concerns.
The goal is to increase public safety alongside the RCMP.
This augments the RCMP. The RCMP will still be responsible for traffic and the traffic safety plan of the city.
The peace officer vehicles have also received upgrades such as a computer system and red and blue lights as well.
Some of the changes include a security cage in the need of transporting someone to the detachment.
That's all for Retrospect.
This is Newcap Sports.
The border city is home to many talented athletes who are not only skilled at their craft, but also skilled at sharing their passion for the sport with others. Brittany Matika introduces us to an athlete who is making a difference as a mentor to one 5-year-old boy.
The Lloydminster off-road riders have been riding the motocross track since the 1970s, priding themselves on having a family-friendly environment to enjoy high speeds on the dirt track while having fun. Our athlete of the week, Braden Jezowski, rides for more than just a thrill.
It helps clear the mind, I guess, after work or a rough day. Come out here and ride and just enjoy it, the people around, the atmosphere.
While at the track, Jezowski met a young rider who is following in his footsteps.
Because I like to go fast.
The 5-year-old has no fear as he takes to the mini track at great speeds and wants to keep getting better.
family and friends and other people who have rode the track. That's how you learn what to do and what not to do, and how to be safe and how to be smart, but also how to do the big tricks when you're ready for them.
Jezowski is a competitive motocross rider who spends his evenings training at the track to improve for his upcoming races, but he also makes time to pass on his knowledge.
Where to sit, how he rides his bike, where his elbows should be, and just to have fun. He rides aggressive, he's always on the throttle and looking ahead, which is good.
Jezowski races all across Saskatchewan professionally, but hasn't let his success get in the way of remembering his humble beginning.
It's good to think of how you were there at one point and how you, I've came from where he started and progressed to where I am now.
The 21-year-old enjoys cheering on Say at the races and lending him a hand on the mini track, but it's what he does on the track that makes Say watch him in awe.
Because he does lots of cool stuff, doing lots of jumps.
He's just as much my fan as I am his.
Being a mentor and a hero to the young motocross rider isn't something Jezowski expected, but he hopes he can pass along what motocross has taught him.
Dedication. Once you set your mind to it, you can pretty much do anything.
Brittany Matika, Newcap Sports.